The unbelievable and unstoppable adventures of Squeaky McNutty, reality star squirrel extraordinaire. In the family backyard, summer was in full swing. The sun beat down like an overzealous spotlight, and the air smelled like freshly mowed grass, sizzling barbecue, and, if you listened closely, subtle existential dread from a disgruntled backyard gnome. But among the backyard residents, there was one creature who ruled with an iron paw and a very impressive tail. Squeaky McNutty, reality star squirrel. The squirrel wasn't just a neighborhood legend, he was an internet sensation, his acrobatics and one liners turning him into a living meme. It all started with his breakout role in Squirrel House, a reality show that followed his nut hoarding and dramatic relationship with a particularly cheeky chipmunk named Nutty Patty. Squeaky had made it. He'd hit the big time, and nothing, not even the complex emotional turmoil of backyard dogs, could stop him. Or so he thought. Today, like any other day, Squeaky was poised at the top of the backyard fence, preparing to launch himself into yet another dramatic stunt that would surely go viral. He adjusted his tiny, sparkly sunglasses, checked his fur, which was impeccable as usual, and mentally rehearsed his latest catchphrase, "Life's nuts, but I'm here for the crack." Just as he was about to make a bold leap off the fence, Lola, the silly, more dorky doggy, let out a series of dramatic sighs from beneath the shade of the cherry tree. "Squeaky, darling," Lola said, looking up with an expression that could only be described as an eye roll with a touch of regal disdain. "Must you always make such a spectacle of yourself? Some of us are trying to maintain our composure in this heat." Squeaky paused midair, dramatically holding his pose like a squirrel in slow motion. "Lola, I am a spectacle," he said, pointing a tiny, perfectly manicured paw at her. "It's what I do. It's what I was born for. This backyard is my stage." Lola lifted her head with a proud sniff. "If you think the world is waiting for another one of your ridiculous jumps, I must inform you that you're very mistaken. The people and the squirrels are tired of the stunts. Don't you think it's time for a little maturity?" Squeaky blinked, as if the mere suggestion of maturity was a foreign concept. "Maturity," he scoffed. "I'm a star. You know what maturity is? It's when you no longer know how to appreciate the thrill of flying through the air like a caffeinated kangaroo. No, thank you." Lola's response was to stretch lazily, as though she was trying to erase all the bad decisions she had made in her past life, including being associated with a show like Squirrel House. "No one needs to fly. We have dignity, Squeaky. But you," she pointed at him with her tail, eyes narrowing. "You need an intervention." Luna, the younger and perpetually bouncy border collie mix, bounded in at that very moment with a tennis ball the size of a small planet in her mouth. She trotted up to Squeaky, tail wagging at speeds that could cause minor windstorms. "Squeaky, Squeaky, look what I've got," she yelped, dropping the ball at his feet. "Wanna play? We can play fetch. Or maybe chase the ball. Or I have so many ideas." She ran circles around him, almost knocking over a bird bath in the process. Squeaky, being the sharp-witted squirrel that he was, flashed her a smile. "Luna, darling," he began with theatrical flair, "I'm honored, truly. But as you know, my talents are wasted on such lowbrow activities as fetch. I'm an artist, a virtuoso of the air." Luna, never one to take things seriously, threw herself into a dramatic bow. "Then let me fetch your fame for you, O mighty artist. With this ball, I will launch your career to new heights. The ball will be your prop, and I will be your humble servant." Squeaky considered the offer for a moment, then dramatically raised a paw in front of his face, as though he were a celebrity in the middle of a red carpet interview. I appreciate the gesture, Luna. But if we're talking career moves, I've got a new idea. Something bigger than Squirrel House. I'm thinking a reality show where squirrels do extreme stunts. Like bungee jumping? Luna asked, her eyes widening in excitement. Exactly, Squeaky said. Like bungee jumping with acorns. Luna barked with glee. That sounds amazing. I'll do it with you. I'm great at jumping off things. Lola, who had been listening to this exchange with a mixture of disbelief and growing concern, sat up with a dignified huff. You two are ridiculous. You're going to end up in some catastrophic accident, and then we'll all be stuck with you whining about your tail for the rest of the summer. Squeaky flashed Lola a grin, knowing he had just the thing to shut her down. Well, Lola, you may be the queen of drama, but I'm the king of stunts. If you think I'm not going to do something as spectacular as bungee jumping off a tree, then you really don't know me at all. Suddenly, Luna had a thought. Ooh, what if we did something really extreme? Like a squirrel obstacle course with tunnels and swings, and those things that make you fly through the air. I'm listening, Squeaky said, tapping his chin. I like this idea, Luna. We could call it Squirrel Games, Extreme Nut Edition. Meanwhile, from the garden shed, Mr. Whiskers, the neighborhood cat, had been eavesdropping on the entire conversation. He wasn't one to miss a chance to ruin everyone's fun. Oh, I'm sure your little squirrel obstacle course will be adorable, Mr. Whiskers said, slinking into view with a self-assured smirk. But if you really want to know what it takes to be a star, you should talk to me. Squeaky, unamused, gave Mr. Whiskers a long, scrutinizing look. Let me guess, he said. You've been reading How to Be a Diva in 30 Days, haven't you? Not at all, Mr. Whiskers purred, looking as though he had just won some great prize. I'm not about reading. I'm about living the lifestyle. I've already booked my spot on Potential, the hottest show for upscale cats. They're doing a feature on me and my, he paused dramatically, Pausian for luxury. Ugh, stop right there, Squeaky groaned. You're not even a squirrel. You're a lazy, sunbathing pillow with fur. Do you even know what a squirrel stunt involves? Mr. Whiskers sniffed and flicked his tail. Please, Squeaky. I can do a stunt just by lying on my back and looking fabulous. Who needs to jump off things when you can just, he stretched lazily, the picture of feline indifference, exist? You call that stunting? Squeaky retorted. That's like calling a nap a sport. Naps are an art, Mr. Whisker shot back. It takes skill to nap in the sun and still look this fabulous. Squeaky rolled his eyes. Fine, fine. You do your art, I'll do my stunts. We'll see who gets the bigger fan base in the end. Just then, Luna, who had been quietly collecting sticks, because apparently there was a world of excitement she hadn't explored yet, came running toward them, this time with a piece of string tangled around her neck like a makeshift scarf. Squeaky, Mr. Whiskers, she shouted. What if we make this into a reality game show? We can have all sorts of contestants. I'll be the host. Squeaky's eyes lit up. Now that's an idea. Lola, ever the realist, sighed again. Oh no. We're going to be in a full-on backyard reality TV show, aren't we? This is going to end with someone getting stuck in the bird bath or locked in the garage. Mr. Whiskers, who had clearly not been invited to the brainstorming session, flicked his tail again. Well, it's better than Potential anyway. Squeaky jumped down from the fence, his tiny acorn pouch bouncing as he landed. All right, who's ready to kick off Squirrel Games, Extreme Nut Edition? Just then, a group of birds perched on the fence, chirping excitedly. The leader, a blue jay named Jay-Z, no relation, fluffed his feathers and called out, "Hey, Squeaky, mind if we join in? We've got some killer aerial moves that'll make your stunts look like child's play." Squeaky grinned. "The more, the merrier. Let's make this the greatest backyard show ever." And so, the backyard was abuzz with excitement as the animals prepared for their epic reality show. Squeaky, Luna, Lola, Mr. Whiskers, and the birds all worked together to create the most outrageous and entertaining stunts imaginable. From bungee jumping with acorns to flying through hoops of fire, safely, of course, the show had it all. As the sun set and the stars began to twinkle, the backyard residents gathered around to watch the first episode of Squirrel Games, Extreme Nut Edition. Laughter and cheers filled the air as they marveled at their own antics. Squeaky, perched proudly on the fence, looked out at his friends and smiled. "Life's nuts, but with friends like these, I'm here for the crack." And with that, the backyard reality stars knew they had created something truly special, a show that celebrated their quirks, their talents, and most importantly, their friendship.